Yes, people. Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome back to the Sunday Man UFC Unfiltered podcast. We're live on a Sunday night. I hope you are all doing well. And yeah, man, it's time to talk Man United. Big up to everybody who's watching. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow everybody here, Sarcasm City, Andy Tate, and also James Dixon on all their socials right there. But Andy, start off with you first, mate. Good to have you back on, man. Been a miss last week, but you know what? We're good to see you, man. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to be back, mate. It's a personal stuff has got to be sorted, and I'm just glad this football's coming back soon now, and everything starts on Monday for Mr. Crazy Dutchman.
Absolutely. Ilias is asking why you're wearing an Ajax shirt. Well, you know what I mean? He had to get it done, man. He had to get the propaganda out for a minute.
It's a Bob Marley one. It's Three Little Birds. You got to chill, man. It's Three Little Birds thing, isn't it? Everything's gonna be all right.
I hope so, man. But listen, big up to have you on. Obviously, we've got as well man like Flawless in the building. It's always good to have you, bro. Big up to you, man.
Yo, big up for having me again, man. Looking forward to this show as always. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. And big up to the chat as well and everybody supporting.
Absolutely. A man like James Dixon in the shirt. You know what? That's probably the one I like the most. You know, that shirt there, man. So big up to you, James, for coming on, man.
Yeah, it's nice, man. Big up for having us. And yeah, like Andy said, that's what the club line are saying, aren't they? You know, don't you worry about a thing. Every little thing's going to be all right. Well, let's get into it tonight and see if it is going to be all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of us might not think so.
Yeah, absolutely. But Andy, we'll start off with you first, mate. You know, we've got Corrie near us, you know what I mean, down in Manchester. But I mean, does this top Corrie? Is this better than Corrie at the minute? This soap opera of United?
This soap opera has been going since, like, was it 1885 or something, 1892? Even before. This is older than Corrie, but yeah, it's been a soap opera the last 6 weeks. And it looks like we're going to see some daylight. And I think the last 3 or 4 days, the amount of negativity, it gets you down. The content's coming out of the media and online. It's absolutely, you just switch off. It's the only way to cope with it. Because I've seen some stupid articles. Darren Fletcher advises Harry Maguire to be a central midfielder. I was just laughing my head off at that. Jesus Christ, he's scraping the barrel with stories. I mean, Harry Maguire's just got married. Lay off the lad, even though I'm not a fan of his. He's just got married yesterday, and congratulations to him and his partner. But God, it's been a really poor last few days, and the negativity. Oh man, on Friday with the dividends, it says it all.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. James, I don't know where you want to look at it, but in terms of the Jong update, before we touch on the whole Ronaldo situation, we've got the Telegraph and most outlets saying that the deal is getting closer. But I think Fabrizio hit us with the news that Man United have offered 65 million euros now, which has been a 5 million increase from what they gave them before. Where do you sit with this whole De Jong situation? It's giving everyone, I don't know, there's part of people who are quite calm about it, but there's also part of people saying the more time goes on, the less the deal looks likely. Where are you on this with De Jong now, with this situation?
I mean, it's just a bit of a saga, isn't it, mate? It's just ongoing, and it's probably been going on for too long. Always seems to happen with Man United. I think we all, from the outside looking in, would love to get him in for pre-season, have Ten Hag work with him again, and get embedded in to play all the pre-season friendlies. So when the Premier League rolls around, he's all ready to go. But sometimes things in business aren't that simple. We've got deals with Barcelona who may want to bring someone like Bernardo Silva in. They're trying to work on finances. So sometimes it can be a snowball effect. We can't work on 2 things at once, seemingly. So maybe once Frankie comes in, maybe we'll get a snowball effect of several others. I looked at the odds on Sky Sports, on Sky Bet before, and he's 20-1 on to come this window, which means basically you put £20 on, you get 21 back. So £1 profit plus your £20. So that basically means it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. It's one of them. I want it to get done, mate. I'm quite calm about it, but if history tells us one thing, it's that Man United just seem to take a long time when it comes to deals. And you were talking about Corrie before. I mean, soap operas Monday to Friday, mate. It's Sunday night. Thank God, because normally it's just omnibuses on, just reliving the week. But we've got Man
Yeah.
United soap opera on a Sunday, delivering
It's
new
repeat.
content every single day.
You know what, Flawless, man? If you didn't know United, you know what I mean, you'd think this is a club that doesn't know that it's meant to be United. With this De Jong situation, I know you've been quite calm about it all, but we're hearing conflicting news. Where are you on this with De Jong, man? What do you think's gone on now at this minute?
I think the deal will happen. Obviously, I think the deal will happen. James has mentioned it there in regards to the Sky Bet and the betting odds. And what I don't understand is why everybody, well, not everybody, but why are people up in arms about this and upset? None of us should be shocked by this. This is the way Manchester United do business. I don't know, and I keep stating this. People expected Ten Hag to land and him to unveil 4 signings alongside his announcement. Was never going to happen. We've watched Manchester United do this year in, year out for the past 9 years. So what? Did we expect them to get to the 10th year and all of a sudden they was going to turn it around in one window? Like, I don't get what, like you mentioned it there, me being calm. And I've had many back and forths with people in comments sections on my channel. People are like, why are you so calm about this? Why are you so relaxed? Because why am I getting worked up about it? Do I believe De Jong will happen? Yes. Would we all have preferred it to happen earlier? Absolutely, we would. But Manchester United, when have we ever been prepped in the summer? What's the last window we had where we had everybody in, preseason was there, and we was gonna go? Like, no. So it's like, just relax under the De Jong deal. Do I believe it will happen? Yes. And I'm looking more at it from the viewpoint as we need more players in as well. That's how I'm looking at it. Who else beyond De Jong are we signing? Because even with him in the midfield, we still need more midfielders alongside him. We still need more players. So it's like people, I think people are just bored because there's no international tournament. I think that adds into it as well. You know what I'm saying? Andy mentioned the article about Harry Maguire supposedly becoming a central midfielder. If the World Cup was on and we're watching some football, that's not an article. But what we have to realize is these journalists need stories. They're not content creators like us who can just they got to talk about something, and they're just running out of stuff to talk about. I see the young news, and I'm sure you do as well, Saeed, all day up and down the timeline.
Absolutely.
On Twitter all day long. And it's like, I think 90% of people are just guessing. We don't know what's going on. We don't know the ins and outs. And a lot of these journalists, it seems they're guessing. So De Jong will happen.
They want to be the first person to report it, yeah.
Yeah, everyone just
absolutely
wants to be the first person. Yeah, first person. But on it, I'm just like, all right, he's gonna. Who else we getting? That's what I'm looking at.
It's true. That is true, and that's the next question Jack brings in there. And I'm going to bring it to you, Andy. Jack Burgess says, are you lads not a little bit concerned with De Jong, though? The guy is so against the deal and it's literally been forced to the club. Seems like United are throwing a massive bag his way. Meaning a lot of wages coming his way. Is that a situation for you that you're concerned in, that we're spending a lot of time on this one when we've got so many massive holes that, Flawless is alluded to there, that we need to go focus on, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just a one-man team. We don't want it to be another Pogba where we put all our eggs in one basket and we're like, yeah, Pogba, do the magic. This will be another situation. We need other personnel to come in alongside De Jong and, help him out.
It seems like nothing's changed with even though new positions and people have been changed, moved about in the scouting, in the system of recruitment, and it just seems nothing's changed. And and we don't want to make this like a Pogba issue. I mean, I'm not doubting De Jong's talent, but you're paying him a wad of cash for him to even come, and Manchester to Barcelona, with the greatest respect to Manchester, the weather, the climate, the lifestyle, a hell of a difference. But
listen,
this is Manchester United, but it should be a little bit worried because of the amount of cash. I don't want an Alexis Sanchez scenario. Bruno's going to be on a mega contract, isn't he? And De Jong's coming in. Eriksen, if he comes in, he'll be sweet, just like that. Just sweet. Here's your 2-year contract, and we still need more. We need a striker. Like I say, we need centre backs. We need a left mid. We need a winger. So
left back. Yeah, we need everything. Back, we need a whole new team, right man. We need a whole new team.
We've signed a new goalkeeper, haven't we? That poor lad's on an adding to nothing if he's coming in. He's not going to get mentioned because everybody's hyped up with De Jong, Eriksen, Anthony, Timber. this, that, and the other. Ronaldo, you know, everything is just up in the air at the moment.
And that feeling, James, is not what fans want to hear. I get that, you know, you can have calm fans like Flawless, and you can have people who think, you know what, this is what happens. You know what I mean? What did you guys expect? Man United do this season out. But the people who told us about Murto and the madness and, you know, the new structure at Man United.
Yeah, Statman Baines, hold that. You're talking about you, Bainesy.
Basically, Statman Baines, you know what I mean? Hold that.
Say names, man. Hold that,
yeah,
Bainesy.
listen,
I hope he's watching.
Hold that, Bainesy. That's why we have you, Flawless, say, you know what I mean, to back me up. But listen, but you know, James, we thought because of the season we had last season, this would be a very, very interesting summer, and this would be a massive, massive summer. Right now, it hasn't lived up to that, and we're approaching, I think, 2 weeks till pre-season. The lads train tomorrow for the first time, I believe. So there has to be some sort of progress because Ten Hag would have wanted some players in by now, surely, and he would have thought players would be coming in by now. But we are maybe, Andy says we're Man United, but are we though? We're not really that club anymore in terms of that kind of like, you know, symbol that people think that we're a big club. We've not kind of got to that level yet, have we?
Not really, mate, but I kind of look at it two ways, right? You say we're not Man United, and in fairness, we're not. If we're having to convince people like Christian Eriksen and Frankie de Jong to come to Manchester United with big wages, then we're not the club of the past, because being Manchester United would have been enough. But then there's also the side of me that thinks that people just play too much Football Manager and FIFA, mate, and just think, window's open 1st of July, let's sign 10 players. This is the money coming in, this is the money going out, nothing else to iron out. Offer them their expected contract. They sign on the line, they're at Carrington holding the shirt. It's business, mate. It doesn't work out like that. There's loads of little, you know, you've got to dot your I's and cross your T's in all of the contracts and stuff. You can't tap up players anymore. It's not a thing. Like there's loads of stuff to work on and work around. And yes, there are other clubs that have done some business, but if you look at them, like City and Liverpool, for example, really they have one bit of business each to do all summer and they've got it done. We've got 10 bits of business to do all summer with ins and outs. So expecting us to get it done all straight away is, I think it's fairly naive, to be honest. And if you say, oh, you know, surely Ten Hag would have expected or wanted players in by now, have you got his phone number? How do you know?
That's what I keep saying.
How do you know what he wants? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he wants. Like literally, as a fan, I have an opinion. I give my opinion, but I have no idea what Ten Hag demanded in his interview. I have no idea what Ten Hag wants. Ten Hag might think that the team's all right. He might think Frankie de Jong and one other player, and he can work with the rest. He might think he can get the most out of Rashford. Yeah. He might think he can improve Luke Shaw. He might do. We just assume that he's probably more intelligent than that, and he agrees with us because we know everything, and that he's going to want to replace the whole squad. We don't know. I don't have Erik Ten Hag on speed dial, believe it or not, to everyone in the comments. So anything you want to ask him, don't ask me. Ask some of the other influencers that pretend to know exactly what he wants, because I've got no idea.
Andy, you're shaking your head there. What's made you like, you know, what bit did you didn't agree with there with James? Was there anything that you didn't agree there with?
Going in on Monday morning, he's going to meet these players. I would think within 4 or 5 days he's going to get a little bit of information. He'll see it for himself on the pitch, and the players who are there, the players who have got to come back. I mean, yeah, he'll pick up on things straight away. Even McLaren will, and it's players toning up, doing poses. Look at Maguire, Rashford. I don't want to see that. I mean, you could be ribbed. You could be a 6-pack, 2-pack, whatever. You could have the muscles, but you haven't got the talent. And Tupac had the talent. He had both. But Scott McTominay doesn't have it at the moment. Neither does Marcus Rashford. All these pitches, looking physical, looking good, prep ready. Means jack shit. Sorry for swearing, but it's what's coming. It's what's coming this next couple. Ten Hag's going to see what's coming in the next couple of days, and he'll be like, he'll probably have a moment. He'll have a moment. He'll have a moment in his office, and he'll go like that.
Yeah.
He'll just let out a sigh. God, that was a weird first day, wasn't it? So
you know what? It's true, man. It's like when I started Pizza Hut, man. I remember like I think it was about 5 years ago, man. I was like, get me out of here, man. Listen, all these cheese bases and all that, man. I'm out of here. Sometimes you're like, you know what, man? You can't do this. You know what I mean? You can't do it, man. I was out the door. I left there about a week, man. I quit after 3 days, man. I just couldn't do it, man. Certain jobs, you just honestly, certain
jobs
things you just
you
look
know.
at. Think,
Did you get your discount card at least?
no.
Oh, I would have appealed on that.
Yeah, no. Listen, Andy, you're hilarious, man. Honestly, but big up to is it Zimophobia? I don't know what you're scared of there, Zimophobia. But let us know what phobias that is. Barca fan here. Wait until June the 30th. Laporte loves doing that last minute stuff. Griezmann and Alba last minute transfers. Hate to see Frank de Jong leave. I think it will happen, but my source says that he's against it. Oh, do you think that's the case? Well, I don't know.
I'm not pizza.
Yeah, you might beat me to the joke. I was gonna say that, James. I was gonna try.
Yeah, marinara.
I was gonna go there.
Brilliant.
That's really a
barbecue base.
To the joke.
Barbecue base, man. I'm telling you.
But barbecue base is the one. That is the way forward. Complete side note. We're going. Carry on. Sorry, Saeed.
You know, in terms of that, that point that you make, saying the super chat, in terms of De Jong not wanted to go until the last minute, until Barcelona force him to go out. Is that an element for you that he's almost, when you're in your gaff, right? And you've got to leave, but then until you heard that word, bro, you got to leave now. You're gonna stay there. You're gonna chill. You don't want to go. It's free. You've got your wages at the minute. Right now, they're negotiating the wages because he's on big wage. Apparently, he's on 350 grand a week at Barcelona. I could be wrong. And let us know what kind of thing he's on. But until they force him out the door, do you think Frank de Jong still believes he's a Barcelona player?
Yeah, of course he still believes he's a Barcelona player. And I don't know if it's Manchester United fans not wanting to look at it honestly and non-bias. Yeah. Of course, any top player would have doubts coming to Manchester United. Look at the state of the club. I'm saying, who has came here and thrived? What talented player? We've had a lot of talented players over the past 9 years. What player has come here and left and had a better reputation? Everybody leaves here and thrives and goes and picks up trophies. Same with the managers as well. Managers have come here and died in that. Moyes has obviously rebuilt himself at West Ham. Van Gaal is now with Holland. Mourinho won the Conference League trophy. So it's even gone on to the managers as well. Everybody dies here. So it's like, of course, he has doubts. You think Eriksen don't have doubts? If reports are true and it's also Brentford and he's debating whether to go to Brentford or goes to us, lets you know exactly where we are. People are not jumping up and down to land at Manchester United. I'm a fan. I want to leave, but I'm stuck here. You know what I'm saying? This is terrible. Like, I don't think people realize how bad it really is. So, of course, top players are going to have doubts. But here's the thing is, if he doesn't want to come to Manchester United, he won't be here. He could easily say no. What are Barcelona going to do? It's not like he's out of contract. He could easily just dig his heels in and say, no, I'll sit and pay me. But, of course, him and Ten Hag are having conversations. And that's another thing. Where's the reports come out that De Jong doesn't want to be here? Where did that come from? That just seems to be lazy journalism is what I'll call it. That's an easy thing to say. Like Andy touched on it. Right, Barcelona to Manchester. It's a no-brainer. You'd probably rather be in Barcelona. I think we all would prefer to be in Barcelona right now. But
no Champions League football as well.
Yeah, no Champions League football, but we've attracted players without Champions League football in the past. And that's probably what comes into the wage packet. And Ten Hag should be, if you're having a conversation, all right, we're not in the Champions League this season, but next season we'll be in the Champions League. That should be the priority, whether that's finishing top 4 or that's winning the Europa League or that's both. So, yeah, that's how I'm looking at it, man. Everyone just needs to chill out, relax. De Jong will be here. When? I don't know. But by the end of the window, he will be here. It might be the last day of the window, but I fully believe he will be here.
Don't say that, mate.
I'm just saying, Andy, can you? All right, so when do you think he's here?
I agree.
You saying by the end of this week?
Maybe not, but
that's what I'm saying.
If United are just working on this solo deal and it drags, and it's the last day and we've not signed anybody else, it's worrying, isn't it?
That's a concern. I've said that already. By the end of the window is when I will assess the squad. But even with that, even if we got all the players that I wanted in and say we signed 4, 5, 6 quality players, to me, the ceiling for the season, this is just me, doesn't really change. Because I'm looking at it now and going, the best we can do, to me, the very best we can have is a top finishing 4th. I think that's our highest. I think that's our ceiling. The Europa League and one of the domestic cups. Now, if we sign all the players we want to sign, that wouldn't change for me because I think the top two are in a league of their own. Yeah, Chelsea are having their troubles, but they'll sign players. It looks like they're moving on Raheem Sterling, maybe a couple others. They're all better than us. And then we have the North London clubs who both finished in front of us. I don't know if people expected Ten Hag to land. We sign 5-6 players, and then we go and win the league. It don't work like that.
No, of course not.
At this minute, it's a struggle to get top four. I still don't believe we'll get top four next season. That's my own assessment, just because of the fact that other teams are strengthening. Big up to Ali Jason, who's saying here, big up the lads, great stream. You think Man United will beat Arsenal to Martinez? The Martinez from Ajax. The Martinez links haven't been strong, have they, Andy? They haven't been, apart from Eriksen and De Jong, everything else has been quite, I would say, not just interested, basically, just not kind of like concrete, enough.
Yeah, everyone's just using the name. Just put, if it's a transfer of another club, they just put the Man United name in. Like you say, lazy journalism sometimes. It's the world it is. We're clickbait, whether it's negative or positive. I remember, was it last week? Crystal Palace signed somebody from Derby County, and they threw Man United's name in it. And Fabrizio threw it in. He said Manchester United as well. So I was thinking, is somebody just put that in, or was we ever in for the young lads? So it's I don't believe anything that comes out of the mainstream media anymore now. I mean, the only ones I rely on is like us guys, just for any info, a snippet.
Absolutely. Big up to everybody who's watching. Nearly 700 is watching on a Sunday night. Big up to everybody. Make sure you guys, again, like I said to you, follow Sarcasm City, road to 4K for him. Make sure you go do that. Link is in the description for that one as well. And make sure people to like the video. Like I said, we're trying, hopefully, do as many likes as we can. So if you're watching this and you're enjoying this, please smash a like on the video, people.
After 700 people, sorry to cut you, have 700 people. Yo, you lot get the likes up, don't start taking liberties. 700 people, there should be at least 500, 600 likes. You know what I'm saying? It's free. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well.
Hit the like. Simple.
Yeah, absolutely. James, when do you see things start to materialize? When you look at the kind of pattern now and when we're looking at things to improve, do you think in the next 2 weeks before we move out to pre-season? I'm guessing there's 1 week now to train, and then I'm guessing they would fly out maybe next week or the week after. Where are you kind of looking towards now as we approach the end of June and going into July now? Where's your head at in terms of players coming in and out?
Mate, do you not remember the season that Fergie left and Moyes came in and we were linked with Fellaini. We were linked with Fellaini, right? And it was like, right, you can have him for 24 million. And we were like, no, we're not going to sign him for 24 million. We ended up signing him like 3 weeks later for 27 million. He missed all of pre-season and then didn't get to play any games. So it's like the way this club moves just doesn't make any sense. Like we said, as fans, we would expect people to sign on the dotted line, come in the next week or so, hop on that plane, maybe take a few games, get settled in, come off the bench, play the last few preseason games, and then be ready to go come the first game of the Premier League. But things don't always work out perfect, right? We said it's a soap opera before. It's not a fantasy. It's not like we can just imagine it and it all works out perfectly every time. Like, it must be hard doing deals for Manchester United Football Club because basically Woodward, since 2013, has made us almost impossible to deal with in the fact that we just get our pants pulled down at every turn. Like when you look at like Bayern Munich have signed Sadio Mane for what, 30 million? If we went in for Mane, what we're being quoted, 70, 80 million? They seem to get people like Lewandowski, they get people like Marco, they get whoever they want basically for next to no money. And yet we seem to pay a premium. Like Liverpool until the last few years seem to get people for peanuts. Then all of a sudden they've started paying bigger fees. City seem to get people for peanuts. This Calvin Phillips for 40 odd million. Weren't we quoted like 65 when we were interested in him?
Yeah.
This was someone that I looked at and thought actually could improve our team. I liked him when he was playing with Rice at the Euros. Like, I think if you're going to play a double pivot, I think he works really well. I got criticism for saying, like, he's not good enough. He's a Leeds player, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen, if we want to play 2 6s, I think he suits perfectly. I was interested in him. People saying he's a Leeds lad, he wouldn't want to come. At the end of the day, even at 60 million, I thought it was all right. I thought, it may be a deal we can do. all of a sudden City rock up and spend 40 odd million on probably a bench player. But again, it's like, why are they getting in £15 million cheaper than United? That's Ed Woodward. That's the Glazers. That's years of transfer dealings that have been utter crap, mate. And we're paying for it now. That Sanchez deal, 400 grand a week to play a piano. 400 grand a week to play Glory Glory Man United and the piano. The best thing he did was that introduction video. The best thing.
But it's true, though, when you look at it, Flawless, Sancho, Sanchez, Fellaini, you're looking at Bruno Fernandes, even we wanted him the summer before, we got him in January. There's actually, there's no guarantees that De Jong does come, even though we're more likely that he's coming because of the fact that how much stress is on this midfielder to come in. But, I think someone was alluded to it here about Woodward was a huge problem. That's why stuff like that happened. Do you reckon it's easily recoverable with a new kind of structure? Is it just a name that people look to and think, you know what, Man United don't do well in negotiation, so let's play chess in it, because they don't play chess well, so we can play chess.
Of course, our reputation is in the bin. Absolutely, our reputation is terrible when it comes to these things. One, clubs and players both know we're desperate. We need players. We have the big bag, so the money's there, and we will pay a premium. We've done this year in, year out, because we don't walk away from deals. That's where it's from. We've seen it last season with Manchester City. They went in for Harry Kane, didn't like the valuation Spurs had, left the deal alone. Now, if that's us in for Harry Kane, we're probably paying that money. That's probably what his works like. Like, to put it into an analogy, we are that girl with a scandalous past who was a hoe in the past, and now we're trying to change our ways, but people still see us as a hoe. That's legit what Manchester United are. Like, it's facts. That's what we are.
You got Andy Tate going.
It's facts. This is what we are. Now we want to be wifed. Now we want flowers.
We had a one-night stand. We had a one-night stand of football.
But now we don't. We are the one-night stand of, that should be the episode title of this. We are the one-night stand of football, but now we don't want to be one-night stands no more. And people are looking at us like, right, still approaching us like we are that one-night stand. We're like, nah, take me out to dinner.
Reputation's in the gutter.
Our reputation is in the gutter. And
in other words, we're easy. We're easy.
We are. Look at everyone gets money out of us. There isn't one player who you can say we signed that when he's valued for money. Whether it's Maguire, whether it's Bruno, whether it's whoever, like Shaw, the list goes on and on. You can list through all our transfers in the past 9 years and go even the smaller ones. Like, how much was Dan James? And I feel we got ripped off. And we got a profit. 18 million, The 18, and I feel we got ripped off and we earned a profit on him. I think he's one of two players we've made a profit off in the last 9 years. It was him and somebody else.
Daley Blind was the other one. Daley Blind was the other one.
I think it was like
2 million. 2 million, that's it.
So this is my point on that is, I think people don't realize that slows us down in negotiation. So when I hear reports and rumors saying United are playing hardball in the negotiation room, I like that. I like the fact, because Barcelona are going to take liberties, because if this was Bayern Munich, if this was a City, I don't think they're asking for as much. But because they know we'll pay it, that's a problem. And we have to be, as much as it would annoy our fan base, we have to be willing to walk away from the negoation and go inside the midfield.
United need to get kinky now, and just like bit more firm and kinky, dominate.
And all jokes aside,
whip as well.
Because here's the thing, hey, I don't judge whatever makes you happy.
Andy, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, because here's the problem, though. Say we do
talk about United.
Yeah, say we do pay whatever for Barcelona, yeah.
You started it, Flos, so you can't really talk.
No, you called the shit Unfiltered podcast, so here we are.
Yeah, you know what? It's Unfiltered podcast.
He's in the dark, that's why. He's in the dark, that's why.
What's going on?
Football, carry on.
Right, back to football. Because what happens is, if we pay the money for De Jong day one, if we then go and approach Barcelona for another player next season, a season down the line, they're gonna go, you paid the money last time. You have to be willing to walk away from deals, and that's any negotiation. So I'm glad, like, if we're dragging it on and we get him for a cheaper price, even if it's 10 million, that's still a good thing that's happened, 100%. Because we gotta get our reputation back, man.
That's a situation, Andy, though, isn't it? When you look at it, even for players now, it's only wages that we can really give them right now. And I think football now, it's becoming a case of not many teams. If you look at it, Man City and Liverpool are reaching Champions Leagues and winning Premier League. They're the two top dogs now in world football. I think Real Madrid are there. I generally think Real Madrid are there. Barcelona are not there. Bayern Munich have had a little bit of a wobble lately. There's not many teams that can catch Man City, Liverpool. So if you're going to make yourself come to Man United, it has to be a project. It has to be something that you can believe in. He did leave
Yeah.
Ten Hag, Ajax. He left for a bigger club. Now he's coming back down a little bit. He's coming without Champions League football. Is it that reputation? Do you reckon he's looking at it and De Jong is hesitant a little bit because he's like, you know what? I have to make sure this is right. This is right for my career. He's 25 now. If he was 22, you would probably say, right, okay. But 25 now, you're entering your peak stage of your career now. And if you don't get to the next level in the next 2-3 years, you never know what happens to your career.
Yeah. I mean, career-wise, it's a big step. It's a huge gamble. But if he's been convinced about this project, some players can take a year out of the Champions League. I mean, look with Eriksen, it's no big if he's not in the Champions League. And if we acquire De Jong, can you wait 12 months? And if we get in the Champions League straight away, you're pivotal in this. It's up. You take us to the Champions League, and we go from there. And that's the first stage. The second stage is more recruitment, more experience, play some better football this season. But you're pivotal in this, De Jong. Eriksen, you're pivotal. And anybody else who wants to join this new project, we welcome them with open arms. But it's the now factor in it. Because like you say, City, Liverpool are there. It's like everybody wants to be in success straight away with the new people on the block, and that's what City and Liverpool are. I mean, come 2-3 years from now, it could be us.
Yeah, and that is it. You know what I mean? And I did put the title of the video. Man United says Ronaldo is not for sale. I mean, what did you think when you heard that news on yesterday, James, when you heard about it? Because it's almost something that come out of nowhere, but it had a bit of substance. David Ornstein did talk about it. I don't think it's Ronaldo driving this deal, but it is Mendes, and Mendes has a thing of the past of driving deals. Does that worry you a little bit? And I know people will say, "Oh, well, he's not going to leave. He likes Ten Hag," but he did leave when playing for Juventus one game of the season to Man United. So I'm sure he could leave winning, not winning anything now for winning trophies.
Yeah, listen, there's no doubt that Cristiano Ronaldo loves Manchester United, but we all love Manchester United. So that doesn't mean he's not going anywhere. Like, he can love the club, he can love Sir Alex Ferguson, he can love Old Trafford, he can love Manchester and still want to leave. At the end of the day, the guy's got 815 career goals. Does that say Europa League to you? Because it doesn't to me. It doesn't scream Europa League to me. It screams I should be playing in the competition where I'm the record goal scorer. I've got more knockout goals than everyone else. I've got more hat-tricks than everyone else. I've won it more times than everyone else. That's what it screams to me. So Ronaldo, whether he is or not, has every entitlement to want to leave, to ask questions of Ten Hag, to ask questions of the board, to question the fact, why haven't we signed anyone? Why haven't we made any moves in the transfer market? And when the news came out, it was from Ornstein. So you're like, okay, top tier journalist, you're thinking, right, I'm going to take note of this. And it may not be the fact that Ronaldo's asked for a move to Chelsea. It's probably not. It's probably the fact that George Mendes has asked for a meeting with the new owner of Chelsea because he's got a couple of clients that may want to go there and do business with them in the future. And then Ronaldo's name's come up and he's like, you know what? Ronaldo's not the happiest at the moment. He may be open to going elsewhere. Is this a player you might be interested in? So that's probably the way it's happened. But no smoke without fire. You've got the Ornstein comments with Ronaldo and Chelsea. You had him linked to Bayern a few days ago. There's links that he's not happy, that he's making a few comments. So maybe there is something in it, and maybe he does want to leave. And big up Flawless's new channel. Is it S&M TV or Sarcasm City TV?
Sarcasm City.
S&M TV, get a TV.
SSS, Say No More TV sounds
Say No More
good.
TV,
Yeah,
that's not good, man.
Right there. I might do a spin-off in that. Say No More
Spin-off,
sounds fire.
That's what it is, man.
Say No More.
S&M
I like
TV.
that sounds cold.
Oh,
It's true,
what have we
man.
started? What have we started?
I know, yeah.
But you know what, though? You've got Jules Kinkard, he or she has said that Ronaldo is going nowhere for F's sake. Move on. I mean, I would move on, but there's no smoke without fire, Flawless. We do have to speak about it. And it would be naive for anyone to think that Ronaldo would want to play the Europa League, would want to be in another manager, and basically want to prove himself when he has no right to prove himself at Man United. He's done what he had to do. He became one of the best players at Man United ever. One of the best players in the world. Is there a feeling for you that you maybe become naive to this in terms of he's staying, he's adamant, we're keeping Ronaldo? Where are you on this with this one?
I would say is if Ronaldo does what, there is no smoke without fire. You're right on that. Do I believe it happens? Probably not. No. When I first seen it, I thought, nah, I don't think there's anything to that. I forgot what I was even going to say. However, with it, it's one of them. I'm just looking at it and thinking, if he wants to go, let him leave. I always say this. I always say this about any footballer at Manchester United. And I said this during the back end of last season. As soon as it was known that we weren't going to be in the Champions League, I said there's a chance Ronaldo might go. We all know what he's like from a competitive standpoint. He wants to compete at the highest level. He wants to play week in, week out. He wants to play from the first minute to the 90th. So it wouldn't surprise me if he did want to engineer a move away. As he spoke with Ten Hag, reports are saying, yes, they have. It's all about selling him a project as well. Does he want to play Europa League? Absolutely not. But I've said this, at 37 years old, he shouldn't be starting week in, week out for us anyway, whether we keep him or whether we sell him. So whether that's Martial playing as a striker, whether we go and sign a new striker, which we need anyway, because we don't even know what's going on with Martial in regards to his future at Manchester United. So yeah, with the Ronaldo situation, I've still he scores goals, but I don't know. It's because we all love Cristiano Ronaldo. He's one of my favorite Manchester United players of all time. He's one of my favorite footballers of all time, like without question. But he's no longer that. It's like people don't want to accept that he's not 27-year-old. This ain't prime Cristiano Ronaldo no more. We watched him play, and it pains me to admit it's kind of like your favorite artist putting out an album, and because it's your favorite artist, you don't want to say the album's no good. That's legit where we're at with Chris, and because he's an icon and everything he did. We've lost him before when we lost a better Ronaldo. The Ronaldo we lost in 08, 09, whenever he left, is miles better than the one we have now. So if he wants to go, yeah, he scores goals. But if Chelsea want him and he doesn't want to be here, don't keep unhappy players. Because the same people who will be saying, oh, we shouldn't let Ronaldo go, will be complaining about De Jong landing, and De Jong doesn't want to be here. So what's the difference?
But he was he was fourth top scorer or something in the league for this. So it's like the album that's still got a couple of bangers on that you're like, I don't really want to let it go.
That's the thing is with Ronaldo. If as an artist, he's always going to have a couple of bangers because he's that good an artist. Ronaldo will always score goals without question.
Always have it on repeat.
Elite goal scorer. That's what it is. But at 37, he's just not that anymore. This is why when he came back, I was like, and Saeed will tell you, I was saying, why are we bringing him back? Nobody at that season looked at our front line and went, our team and went, it needs goals. It wasn't a lack of goals. And like I said, we've lost a better version of him before. But do I believe it happens? No, I think he'll be here. I think he'll stay.
I think, you know, what's important is that I think even, I'm not going to lie to you and say, you know what I mean, this season I've given his credit, but I've also said parts of the season, you know, he did look like he was finished. His overall game wasn't great. I was like worried about Ronaldo, Andy. There was a game particularly Watford, me and Statman went, and I was just like, you know what, he looks done, man. You know what, I think he had a bit of a rest, and then he kind of almost came back and scored a few more goals. But where are you on this with Ronaldo? Is it just ambition? Is it to drive up the cup, say, right, fix up? Is it just a case of, you know what, let's hurry up with this now? What are you doing? What am I here for? Am I just here for a fairy tale story? Or you guys going to actually win trophies? What's going on? What's the plan?
I think Ronaldo, maybe, I think it's all paper talk, but maybe Ronaldo has called out the owners. Come on, what are you going to do? Spoke to Ten Hag, what are you going to do? I want to stay, but I'm also open to the idea of maybe leaving. I mean, look, if it wasn't Chelsea, maybe Bayern Munich, I've heard Bayern Munich this week. Would you Bayern Munich, same sort of pace, just like Italy, challenging Champions League? He could win a Bundesliga. I think that's the only division he's never won, isn't it? So
major ones, that he's played in.
Major ones. So he's not won a German Cup, let's say. And but maybe Ronaldo wants to spearhead this new project, and I'll take this club back into the Champions League. Maybe that's his desire, but he's also keeping his options open.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, when you look at it, James, and that's the element of fear for Man United fans is that we still don't know if it's concrete, it stays, but then what do you do then? Do you plan for a striker? United can't really do two things at once in terms of buying players. You know, there's a lot of areas that Man United should be getting, but we're concentrating on midfield right now, and rightly so, but also looking up front as well, because you can get De Jong all you want and whatnot, but you still need someone in there up front to get the goals in terms of scoring. You would say at least to get your top four, you do need a kind of a 15, 20, goal striker. You You need goals up front. You know what I mean? And we don't really have goal scoring wingers. I mean, obviously
No,
the other
again,
fella,
no,
he's-
but not if your team's good though. Look at the team he's been linked with. They finished third, and they have Timo Werner playing up top.
yeah,
Like,
true.
so you don't look like this whole thing. Yes, do goals help? Of course, goals help because you need goals to win you games. But football has moved on from needing a 20, 25, 30 goal a season, man, to win league titles. I don't even know who was City's top goal scorer this season.
God knows.
I think if you have a system, yeah. But then if you're embedding someone in, my thing is if you're trying to embed a system, you still need that one striker to hold you down for that first season. When Guardiola, I think the first season he struggled without. I think they just about reached top 4. Obviously they had Aguero and whatnot, and they were still a world class team, but they still needed someone in there to kind of just help them in for that first season. And that's my question, James, is that you still need someone in there to kind of. When you're not saying that Ten Hag needs help for the first season, but just that someone to help him out up front, you would need. So maybe having a backup option. Do we then go for a striker as a maybe an option, maybe, or do we just try to just wait and see for what happens with Ronaldo?
Well, this is the problem. I touched on it last week, I think. Like, if you accept that Ronaldo is going to stay, so let's look at that scenario first, then you want to sign a striker, but you're not going to go and get like a Darwin Núñez for £80 million who's going to play once a week or once every other week. You're not going to be able to convince someone of that value to sit on the bench sometimes, or play as a 2 with Ronaldo. So it's like you then have to readdress the situation and think, right, we need to look at 30, 40, 45 million pound players that are happy to play bit part roles. And that's a lot of the budget that you're going to spend on someone that's not going to play all the time, if you believe reports of how much we got to spend. So it's a big problem. I think the worst case scenario for Man United is just the window drifting, or spending loads of time on this Frenkie deal, maybe signing Jong, but then it getting to the end of the window, Ronaldo saying, I'm not happy with this, I'm off. And we're left without a striker and we've got no time to find someone else. That's the worst case snenario. Then you're looking at like bringing Charlie
worst case riot.
Yeah, that's like worst case scenario.
That's riot. Next, if that happened, the next home game, Old Trafford, mate. Oh man, if you're the director, if you're Richard Arnold, you do not set foot inside Old Trafford.
No, that'd cause absolute chaos, to be honest. I don't like, realistically, Ronaldo's not the future, right? Ronaldo's never been the future. Ten Hag's got a 4-year contract. Ronaldo's not going to be here for 4 years. So Ten Hag isn't going to build his football club around Cristiano Ronaldo. But that doesn't mean, like Saeed said, that he can't be the person that helps him out this year. When Ten Hag was asked in his press conference, what does Ronaldo bring? He simply replied, goals. Because it's guaranteed that that's exactly what he's going to bring. He will score 15 plus goals. He scored 19 this season in not even a bang average United team, in the worst Man United team to ever play in the Premier League. He still finished like 3rd top goal scorer in the league. So Ronaldo guarantees goals. So it makes sense to keep him this season. But ultimately, that decision is not up to Ten Hag. It's up to Cristiano Ronaldo and George Mendes.
Yeah, and that's the issue. So it is a case of wait and see. Like we are going to do with Eriksen. I mean, Eriksen's it's a weird situation for Lawrence, isn't it? Because he does want to assess his options. He does favour Brentford as well. Where are you on this with Eriksen's situation as well? Is it another case of just waiting and seeing what the plan is with him? Do we then go for a different option of midfielder if it doesn't happen? Where were you on with this Eriksen? Because it's a bit of a strange one, because you would have thought he'd be rushing the jump to go and play for Man United, but it isn't the case anymore. Players now understanding what system will I play in. Will I play in my favourite position? You've got Donny, and I would say Fred that can play / that 8 roles. People arguably say that McTominay needs to play more further forward. So again, it's a lot of players in that role. Where if he was a holding midfielder, Eriksen, he'd be thinking, right, I can go in this team easily. But still, he needs to analyse where he's going to fit in. At Brentford, we know where he fits in. He fits in perfectly.
It depends on the question. The big question mark is, and one thing we don't know, and people need to stop talking like we don't know how Ten Hag's going to play and what formation he's going to play. Yes, we have an idea from Ajax, but he's not going to come over here and use the exact same system in the exact same way, because he has different players to use. So say he is playing a 4-3-3, Eriksen would be one of the 8s. Now, if he's playing 4-2-3-1, you could potentially play Eriksen as one of the 6s or in the 10. Probably most preferably in the 10. Maybe we've seen Eriksen play like in a wide right role as well, because he's good enough to do that. Technically sound, experienced, proven player at this level as well. Proven Premier League player also. And he's from the Ajax system, which I think will also help. I think it'd be shrewd business to get him. I was shocked that we actually got linked with him, Because one thing about Manchester United, we rarely do smart business. But one thing I've actually liked about this window is 90% of the players we've been linked with, I'm like, I can see why that is. It's not some nonsense. It's not Longstaff. It's not Arnautovic or players like that where I'm like, how are we being linked with some of these players with any vim? But Eriksen, very smart. And would he fit in? Yes, because it depends like I said, is Ten Hag going to use him as a first teamer? Because you've got potentially De Jong, you've got Donny, you've got Bruno all in the mix. So that's on then selling Eriksen, the project. That's what Manchester United need to do. As much as we can throw the bag at people, which obviously money sweetens any deal, you need to sell him the project and say, right, this is my plan. This is what we're going for the first year. You'll play here, you'll play here. But if he stays at Brentford, considering what's happened, it would make sense. Obviously, he's based in London, calm. But if we can't persuade him to come to Manchester United, that's 2 black eyes. If we can't get him over Brentford, like, I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Very concerned.
That's the situation. And by the way, big up to everybody who's watching. 800 of you here. Big up to everybody, you know what I mean, that's supporting the channel. Make sure, again, like I said to you, support everyone else on this show right now. So follow Andy Tate on Instagram, follow James Dixon on Instagram, Twitter, and follow Sarcasm City. Road to 4K, people. I think it's about 100 odd from 4K. So make sure, people, we support him. Link is in the description, Sarcasm City. And yeah, man, keep liking the video, people, if you're enjoying this show. But it is a sad reality, though, isn't it, Andy? When you look at where we were back in the day and how we used to pull off players, that Eriksen is deciding between Brentford and United, and it is becoming a bit of a situation where we could get plied. We could get another situation where players are not opting to come into a situation, regardless of a manager who's there. He might be great, but also the situation of Man United is that they've had 6 other managers. You could say Mourinho, Van Gaal, you know, fans favouring Oli, Ragnick, who was the professor who, you know, had so much kind of influence in and so much respect, more so, you know. So it is kind of strange that, you know, that it has took a long while to get Eriksen over the line, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can understand. I mean, does he want another change in his life after the events of last year? He just wants to play football, or you can understand that from his family's point of view, his health point of view. And like you say, he's proved he can still play at the top level. But does he want to? And this United project, yeah, this might not be a bad thing. I mean, was it 2-year contract? I mean, people can have multiple homes. I mean, you know what I mean? This could be my last chance of achieving something. I want to achieve something. I can prove what I've come back from, and I can say I can be a part of this new project, and I can help Man United along the way. And I have to say, when the time comes to call it a day, I can go back to London or go back to Denmark, knowing I've helped out and contributed to this project, and I have won a trophy or two along the way.
Absolutely. Someone's asking, would you take Neymar? Oof, that is a good question. I mean, James, I don't know what you're thinking there, mate. Neymar to Man United, would that be something?
On a free, yeah.
I saw a report before basically saying that if we got rid of Ronaldo, then that would free up the money from the wages and stuff to bring Neymar in.
It would make sense for Man United to go and get commercial signing and someone who would break records in terms of shirt deals, everything you name it. Like the world would be on Man United again.
We're not supposed to be doing that though now, are we?
As fans, we're done. We're done with that, aren't we? We're so done with the Pogba commercial signings. And Pogba's not the only one. I don't just want to hate on Pogba, but we're so done with those commercial signings now. Like the whole idea moving forward is we want to buy players that fit into a system, not fit into a shirt that's an Adidas one or whatever. So like we need to change the way we do business. Unlike the Eriksen thing, like, are we really decided between Brentford and Man United in 2022? That's just like, it's so alien to me. And maybe it's because a local lad lucky enough to live like 3-4 miles away from what was the biggest football club in the world when I was growing up. But it wouldn't have been a decision when I was growing up. And sadly, it is now. And we all probably know the Berbatov chant, right? Like Dimitar, Berbatov, one look at City and he said, fuck off, right? Now let's look at that now. If someone is given that choice between City and Man United now, there's only one club he's telling to fuck off, mate, and it's not them.
Yeah, you got spot on.
True.
I think with the Neymar thing, I'm not gonna lie to you, he's a quality player, but I think
You're on his
obviously
side,
with the
innit? I know what you're like, man. You're fully invested in the Neymar.
I'm
You already
fully
thought about
invested.
getting the name on the back of the shirt.
Nah, you know what, man? I think it's one of them, yeah. I
He
don't
wants
know,
the Samba
man.
beat.
And he does.
Well,
he
listen.
does, he does.
He wants
You know
the
what I mean?
Samba
This-
beat for the World Cup, man.
He does.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If he became
He wants
available,
that yellow shirt. He wants that yellow shirt in the bars. Hey, dancing around
Listen.
Samba beat for the World Cup.
Is it a case of a priority signing? No, it would be kind of like last. If you told me now we could get all our positions covered, or you get Neymar in its own, I want all the positions covered. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, this isn't a this is a luxury signing again, because we have got Sancho on that left. If we do get Ante, that's on the right. Now, this would be a luxury signing. Right now, Flawless, it's about remaining calm and getting the players that we need. We can't be thinking about going getting a Ferrari when your house haven't got no electricity, man. You know what I mean? We've got to
I get what you're saying.
sure
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, Gucci belt. Yeah, we getting Gucci belts, so there's no food in the cupboards. I hear what you're saying.
There you go. You hear what I'm trying to say?
Exactly. But here's the thing with that. Two things. Would Neymar be a commercials? Do I believe it happens? No, I don't think it happens. 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think it happens. But would he be a commercial signing? Absolutely. But we've all said we want to see the manager get backed. So say Ten Hag was like, yes, I want Neymar, and it was a doable deal, and the fee wasn't too bad. Why not? I'm saying because Neymar is like, outside of everything, he is a quality player. Would I say go and get him? Me personally, no. But like I said, it's on Ten Hag. Ten Hag might look at Neymar.
It's like a Pogba signing. It's a circus. It's a circus.
It's on the manager, because I've said this. Ten Hag, whether, because we've missed out on players already, I would have preferred Manchester United to go and get. But again, because we're just such in the unknown, because we've not seen a Ten Hag team yet, so we don't know what system he's going to play, and we don't know the profile of player he wants throughout the team, type of thing. But I don't think there's any legs in Neymar to Manchester United. I don't think it happens. Nah.
I don't think he's got any legs anyway.
You know what, Andy? We don't know what's going on with this squad anyway. We look at it. We can only speculate, and we can only talk about it as a purely based on content and whatnot. But we might not even. You never know. There could be players out the door, because he had that game. Remember the game against Crystal Palace? He did watch that game. He did look at it. He did assess it and be like, you know what, that was bad. You know what I mean? So he will be looking at the squad thinking, hold on a minute, I still got to speak to a lot of people here. So we never know what could happen. He might tell them and say to them,
he could be cold. He could be cold in the next couple of months. Cold, crazy Dutch. I'm telling you, he could out the blue. He could go, right, you're gone, and I don't care who you are, what you do.
And that's what's needed.
What you mean to the club, you're gone, mate. And we just have to live with that. If it's a good thing, so be it. If it's bad, you have to live with it.
Yeah,
I'm with that.
So, you with that? Yeah, Flawless.
I'm for 110%. I'm with that. I've said we've needed a drill sergeant. This is why I'm saying back the manager. Is he gonna? I can already see it. The opening day of the season when he plays players our fan base don't like. And people across social media are up in arms about it. But you can't get rid of 20 players and bring in 20 players. It doesn't work like that. We're going to see, I know already players who I don't rate are going to be playing. But we have to give him chance to try and turn it around. And even with a system, cover up these players' deficiencies. And even if a player's average, I get average performances out of him, then, or even above average performances out of him, and just see where we land. We got to give him ample opportunity. 110%, and back him in the transfer window. So whatever players he wants to get to fit his system, let him go and get them, wherever it is, because he's going to make signings we don't like. 100%.
I think the fans will back more the manager than some of them players on the pitch, because it'll be a while.
We've had it up to here.
It'll be a while before some of them players get their names chanted in that ground again. I'm telling you.
And that's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. We need to criticize these, because these are, as much as we criticize the Glazers and the board members and previous managers, these players are accountable too for some of those shoddy performances. Some of those performances, just not.
I know, but some of them don't think they are. They don't think
that's
they
the
are.
Crazy part. That's what makes it so bad, is the lack of self-awareness. Like when Maguire comes out and goes, I get picked for United, I get picked for England, I must be doing all right. I'm like, do you not watch your performances? Like, that's more concerning than his poor performances. There's just a lack of self-awareness. And I've said this about many of these players before, and it's like, how do you not realize? So everyone's criticizing you, but you think you're in the right because you're getting picked. Maybe it's because the players in your position are just as bad. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone can see it, but
everyone can see it, but you, it's like, lack of self-awareness is, it's a crime. Is worse than the poor performances itself.
Maybe it's the ego. Maybe it's the ego as well.
Yeah, ego adds into it too.
Yeah, it's true. There is ego, James, in it, and that's hopefully that could be ironed out over the summer, man. But we got a lot of centre backs, we've got a lot of midfielders who aren't really doing much, and we've got a lot of wingers. There's a lot of lots, Have you noticed that? Even though we've lost a lot of players, there's still a lot of players in positions that we know are not good enough, but they're still there, and hopefully that gets ironed out in the next, pre-season time when we do see Ten Hag getting the training and whatnot. Let's hope so that things can be cleared out more to the fans, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we are quantity over quality FC, aren't we? Like we've got 5, 6, 7 centre backs. We've got 2 right backs, 2 left backs, 3 DMs, 2 and none of them about 5 number 10s, and none of them are any good really. So we're definitely quantity over quality. On the whole, the fan base are going to unite and give Ten Hag loads of time and stuff. This is what we all hope. But I wouldn't hold your breath, mate. I really wouldn't with this fan base. We were all so against player power, right? Under Ollie, we were massively against player power. And then Ranić came in. As soon as Ranić called out some of the players, Ranić got slated. And I'm like, but you've had a problem with player power for ages. Martial comes out and says he doesn't want to play, doesn't want to be in the squad. Ranić comes out and calls him out on that. And all of a sudden you're having a go at Ranić. And it's like, whoa, let's rewind. You spent all season having a go at player power and saying you want to get rid of it, that you're sick of players saying that they don't want to drive in the dark, that they can't stay at training past 4:30, that they've got these cliques that are busting up on the playground and the training pitch, they're all crying home in their 200 grand a week check, all feel sorry for ickle little players. At the end of the day, we're there blaming Ranić. It's not me personally, but some of the fan base are having a go at Ranić, and it's
I think the fans have woke up. Most of I would say 70% of the fan base have woken up to it now.
What I would say is different between. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's a difference between match-going fans and fans not social media fans just want to complain. A lot of them just want to wake up
just want to complain every day.
A lot. Some of the stuff I see is complaining, people already criticizing Ten Hag. And he's not even
the lineups. The lineups will be key. The lineups will be key. Flawless.
Of course, when we see a Shaw, a Maguire, a McTominay, a Fred, a Bruno, a Rashford, and one of those, and a collection of those players are going to play. This is what it's like. Nothing's changed since Ollie. We're not going to do anything before a ball's even been kicked.
At least 3 of them are starting on the first game of the season, right? At least 3 of them. Man. You're so naive if you think they're not. They're 3 of Fred, McTominay, Shaw, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Rashford. At least 3 of them are starting. At least
that first is a pre-season game week before versus Real Vallecano. You're going to see the response from the crowd to some of them players.
And it's going to give
Ten Hag. Yeah, well, they're playing Atletico as well, but you're going to see the reaction from the home crowd to some of them players, and that will give Ten Hag a little bit more of an insight with the atmosphere in the stadium and the home dressing room. If some of them players are still not I tell you what, we'll let you know about it, boss. We'll let you know what we think of them.
I don't think so. I think it'll be a cop-out, mate, because I think they'll play the first team squad in Atletico the day before, and I think they'll give the kids a run out at Old Trafford and avoid it, and they won't cop any blame for it. And they won't cop any
aggro. Yeah. Simple but safe cowardice.
Yeah,
but you mentioned it there, though, James, in terms of a lot of our fan base is like that, naive, 100%, who will be genuinely shocked when they see certain players playing, and it's why? Do you not look at it logically? Is it just blind Manchester United
blind love?
Glasses. Love is blind. There's real for that.
Love is blind, man.
Love can be blind, and it really has, because people, like I keep saying, expected Ten Hag to land and our whole squad to be different. People were 22 new players, and Maguire's going to get. Why have we not sold Maguire? What? You know what I'm saying? You know how many players have left? No, we're never going to sell Maguire this window. It was not going to happen. You know what I'm saying, on 100%. Those wages.
Absolutely. But we'll see. Time will tell, man. But listen, we're going to wrap it up here, man. The Man United Unfiltered podcast. That's why we call it the Unfiltered podcast. It's just opinion, people. And you guys seem to love it, man. Every Thursday night, every Sunday night, sorry. Big up to everybody who's watched here. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a like. You know what I mean? It's free. You know what I mean? And it doesn't cost you anything. So please like the video if you enjoyed it. Andy, man, let them know where they can find you, man. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at ATTV MUFC, and I'm on TikTok if you can find me. So it's going up slowly. Enjoy that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Flawless, your channel's in the link in the description, but let them know where they can find you, man.
Yeah, people, Sarcasm City TV on both YouTube and Twitch. So you get footballing content, basketball content, boxing content, sporting content in general, fan calling shows. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, follow the Twitch as well, because you get separate content on both people. And that's me, Flawless, on Twitter and Instagram as well. Follow me on both socials.
Absolutely, man. And James, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, man, at James Dixon PT on Instagram, at James Dixon_PT on Twitter. Loads of fitness content, United chat, that kind of stuff. So yeah, give us a follow. Appreciate it.
James, you looking ripped like the United fans and that. I see the picture before.
Yeah.
You looking like the United players and that. You know what I'm saying?
In the gym with Rashford and Alanga, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, listen, we'll get that's for another episode. That's another episode. Honestly,
me and Saeed have got one coming. Don't worry, we've got something coming.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, man. Big up to you, man. Big up to everybody who's watched it. I'll be back tomorrow for the Straight Jacket podcast with Nuruddin. It's always the carnage over there, man. But big up to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night, Sunday day, Sunday morning, wherever in the world you are. Big up to everyone.